Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Living With Us. I am Sharon Mundia, and we are at Park Inn by Radisson. And as you know, every so often we do like to highlight some of the biggest events and stories that happened in entertainment in the country and outside as well. And we invite guests to come and give their honest opinions. It's usually hilarious, so prepare to laugh, and very honest too, which is exactly what we want. And today's guests are familiar faces. I have got a TV host from Lit 360 and a radio host, my fellow partner in crime from NTV. I've got Mariam Bishar. Hey Mariam.
Hi.
Welcome back with your cute
Whatever this
pose. And then of course I've got the iconic Mukambari Chigogo, whose stories keep coming up on my Explore feed highlights everywhere.
Really?
Everywhere.
Oh
I'm like, is she paying Instagram? What's going on? She's an entertainment commentator, and so she's a perfect person to have here. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you ladies doing today?
I'm good.
I'm fantastic.
Okay, ready to dive into the stories?
Yes.
Honest opinions?
And to figure out the Instagram algorithms like she has.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we should start. Like, what do you do to
I
like...
don't know, because people I usually talk about always come attacking me with that line. Like, every time you pop up on my feed, my name is in your mouth. And I'm like, wait, what?
Is my name in your mouth?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
But it's really never for a bad reason.
Yeah. And it's honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the very first story that I think everyone's been curious about and talking about, and that is Vera Sidika, whose skin journey has gone back to sort of the original. She was a dark-skinned girl, and then came out very vocal about her want to bleach, and she did it, and she, did whatever injections and became very light. And then recently, about 2 weeks ago now, about a week and a half or so.
A week and a half.
Yeah. She's now a completely different person, but she's really the original person.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
I'm confused, to be honest. Okay. Because I've tried to wrap my head around it. Usually I don't care for news like that too much, but then this is it's very strange. One, because I don't get the back and forth. And then two, I worry that it's a trendy thing, because to be honest, when she initially lightened her skin, it was because she said something true. Like, light skin privilege is a thing, yeah? There's things that you'll be able to do looking like that she may not have been able to do with her darker skin, which is like a societal flaw, but she was right. So she's like, you know what, I needed to lighten my skin because I would feel prettier, and I do feel prettier now, and she said that. And then now she switched back, and I'm thinking it's because society is also beginning to appreciate darker skin, Like, I don't want to call it a fad, because it's literally how God made you, so it's not a fad, but it is for society somehow. Like, you're seeing more dark-skinned models, there's shoots everywhere with like gorgeous dark-skinned women. So I think it's like, oh, this is the in thing now. Let me go back to normal, let me go back to basics and default settings, which to me just feels like it's not a trend thingy. Like, your skin is your skin.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, to be really honest, I don't believe that Vera is going to stay with that color forever.
Okay.
It was just something that she was doing to gain relevancy. And she has a song, I think. I've not listened to the song. And the only way to get people talking is through her skin. And Vera has sort of mastered the art of having interviews and publicity stunts, because when she released her first song, nobody cared as much. But then this time around, she was like, I need to create buzz and hype around the song I'm releasing. And then when the song hits and when people listen to it, then boom, I'll go back to having my injections and my vitamin C's and go back to being light skinned. So I think it's a spray tan, because there is no way anyone would just be light skinned. Like, there's a video she did with Erika Mondi.
Yeah.
Her skin was still light.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden she's dark skin and pretending to be Tim Melanie. I do not buy into it. It's a facade, and it's going to fade off.
Actually, now that you've mentioned it, it is shocking. I did also find it shocking. First, I didn't even know she had a song before, but I did hear about the new song. But I did find it shocking that you can go like that. I thought I'm not familiar with the skin lightening world, but I imagine there's like a transition.
A time period.
Because, it just sort of went from like one to the other. So, and So
really
you're right.
quick,
What
so.
if it is a spray tan?
I
and it's
think
just
it
like
is.
But how? What
publicity?
kind of spray tan goes?
The ones that people with
dark?
money afford to get. And I'm sure she's not getting it from here. She probably got it somewhere outside the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when she's done, she'll be like, oh, you know, I just decided to play around with my color, blah, blah, blah. Just watch this space. You can never trust Vera with her skin.
You know,
Never.
my hope, and maybe I'm speaking from a naive place, but my hope is that she really has gone back to her original self.
Nothing.
And
Nothing.
And that she went through that phase. It's the same way some people are like, you know what, I want to get breast implants because I think that's a cool thing. And then at some point you're like, actually, it's just so much work. And you know what, maybe I just miss my normal boobs, so I'm gonna go back. And so they have the implants taken out. And I would hope it's the same. And I would hope that this message would reach all the people who are, you know, still
struggling
obsessive
with skin.
over
Because
light skin.
like I was saying, skin isn't a fad, you know. We can't decide this is trendy now, this is not. Like
Yeah.
literally there'll always be people of all shades.
Yeah.
So whatever you come in, like that's your shade and you have to love it.
Yeah.
So if she keeps switching, it's also a confusing message for a lot of people. Of course, it's not her burden to be like a role model or an example for anyone. But yeah, it's not healthy. It is very weird. And it gets people to think that it's possible to just switch from light to chocolate to back to light,
I was
back
even
to chocolate.
really shocked that you could do that so quickly. I mean, even the first time I was like, wait, what? That was like a quick tan. But I wouldn't be surprised if your theory is spot on.
Yeah, I
Conrad.
would also be
The
surprised.
publicity
Yes.
angle.
Yes, but
Yeah.
that was it. So we're just waiting to say how long will she last with the melanin. That is the only thing I'm keen on, because it might just be like this for a hot minute, and then
Yeah.
when she's done, she's like, oh,
I'm back.
I'm
you know,
bored.
Mukamburi, you did say something that was interesting, which is her song came out soon after, and I want us to jump into Willie Paul's new song with
Alain.
Alain, and the fact that there was the drama before, or, you know, sort of.
The concocted.
Drama.
I saw
like
the
the back
like
and
a
forth.
whole thread of tweets where
Yeah.
he's telling her to unblock him.
Right. And so my question to you is like, what are your thoughts on celebrities sort of pulling stunts right before they release a song, a movie, a collection, whatever it is that they want the market to bite into? Are you pro do whatever?
Yeah, I think it's
PR is PR.
I will not hate on it, only because it's been tried and tested for so many years. It's been done over and over and over again, and it's worked for so many people. But I will say, like, the more ridiculous the stunt, then the less substantial the music or the movie or the whatever that you're promoting is. It's an unpopular opinion, but it's true, because good work can carry itself. It doesn't need the stunt behind it. So if your video was going to be that good, if your song was going to be that bomb, you wouldn't need to do it. Like, best example of that is even normal publicity, leave alone a stunt, like just promoting a new album, promoting a new thing. Like, and I'm not comparing anyone to Beyonce, but she can just drop an album with without letting you know, without doing anything. Just boom, you wake up one morning and it's on, you know.
And it's best-selling,
yes, and it's
top of the
best-selling,
list, number
because
one.
good work will speak for itself.
But also Beyonce is a harsh person. Like, to compare anyone to Beyonce,
I'm not
it's
comparing,
like
yeah.
it's
I'm
like you already lost that battle, person
yeah.
X. Because
Yes,
but I get your
good
point.
work will stand for itself.
Yeah.
So you don't need to pull all that extra.
Right.
But if you need to boost the views, do what you have to do. Do what you have to do.
What about
Okay,
you?
yeah, I know I don't have a problem with anyone pulling a publicity stunt. The only thing is the publicity stunts our celebrities are pulling are weak AF.
So you want them to go for the jugular,
be
like
more
really?
creative. Like, we can read right through. They are so transparent. You're like, this is. In fact, I told someone before Willie Paul released the song, and we were having a conversation, and I just told someone, this is a song and it's going to be launched probably this week or on Friday. And then, in fact, I think 5 minutes later, we're checking the internet and they're like, oh my God, Shadow Mado, Willie Paul feature. And I'm like, can someone please give me an accolade? But it was so transparent. You're like,
But here's
we
the
can
thing, though, it's not a
guess.
bad thing to be transparent, because as long as you're talking about it, then they have achieved it. Even if you're just speculating, you're like, this is a publicity stunt.
You know
they're
what,
being
I
for
think-
real.
I
Like,
think-
mission accomplished, you're talking about it.
That's where people go wrong. Because talking about something and actually investing in it, two different things. Because I could just say, oh yeah, I noticed that Willie Paul has a song, but have I really listened? No. Do I know what it's about? No. Do I know who and who? No, you know. So there are publicity stunts that really have been well planned out. And let's say someone like Beyonce, you know, we're saying we're reaching, but probably Beyonce does have her own publicity stunts that are not as obvious and not as transparent, and she'll keep us guessing. So by the time she launches something, everyone is like, wow.
So would you both, I'm going to pose this question to you, would you do something, orchestrate something, just so that you can get people talking? And even if it was like absolutely false, doesn't matter how outrageous it is, would you do it just so that you can get mouths moving, people looking?
So. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, so I feel the same, and I wonder like why, but at the same time I'm also like, we become so invested in the petty back and forth drama that they know how to hook people in.
Yes, they do.
And they're like, we know what kind of, you know, rubbish you like to feed on.
Exactly.
So here you are, and here's a music video. So it almost feels like, well, I think we asked for it. Like,
to some extent, yes. And what she said is also right. Like, there's no conversion when you use a publicity stunt.
Right.
People will be like, oh, there's a new song. But they won't. Yeah, they won't listen to it. She's right. They won't like take the time. Maybe you'll get the views for like the drama views. But
but I think that's for a lot of people. They just want like quick hits now. Maybe they don't really think through. I don't know. But I wanted to talk about like the couple that everyone is talking about, and that is Diamond and Tanasha. Am I right to say that they are the most talked about? The crew seems to, before we started filming, they were like, yeah, we're pretty certain they are like at the moment. So they had their gender reveal, and it was a really like gorgeous, very elaborate event.
Yes.
So first question is, what do you think about one, gender reveals in general, and the fact that they're getting more elaborate, and two, there's been a couple of people who it seems like we're sort of skipping that stage of, you know, fall in love, then you get married, then you have a baby, you know, and it's like, yeah, we're just gonna go straight for it. So thoughts on gender reveals, and also, do you think it matters?
I think gender reveals are cute. I think, why not? I don't know. Make your pregnancies elaborate, I guess. Enjoy it if you can. I wouldn't know. But if I was to have a baby, I'd be like, yeah, do everything. Go big or go home. Yeah, baby. Gender reveal here, bridal baby shower here, all the good stuff. But as far as like Diamond and Tanasha, first of all, as we're talking about publicity stunts and being used to promote music and build clout, to some extent this feels like part of it. I'm going to be honest. Because he has so many babies in so many places. It's like, slow down, my guy. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a genuine, I love you, let's have a baby together. I don't know. That's a harsh thing to say.
Yeah.
But that's what it looks like. It's like how rappers have babies, like Future or Offset. It's the same way, you know. It's like, why do you have 4 different baby mamas? I don't know how many baby mamas he has. 3?
Yeah, I think 3, the ones that are well known, and then there's some in the background.
Okay.
So it does feel, because it gets people excited, and it keeps him on your lips, always talking about him. Yeah, whether it's about his music, whether it's about his baby mama, whether it's about his new child, like there'll always be something to say about Diamond.
Okay.
Harsh.
Yeah, I totally agree. About the gender reveal, I think if there's a business motive, perfect. Because there's some of these gender reveal parties that really have been branded.
Yeah.
So by the time you burst in the balloon, it's like the balloon is branded, the pain is branded, the entire place is branded. Go for it. But if you're just doing it for the sake of, I just want to be on Instagram, and you're wasting money for nothing.
So you're saying if you're not making money out of it, cancel.
That's me. Like, if you're not making anything out of it, don't waste people's time and don't waste your money. Because eventually, the ultrasound, or it's called an ultrasound, it's something, people will know that, oh, it's either a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
When the baby is here, we'll come to hospital, oh, it's a girl. But
being extra is fun. fun. Being extra is fun. Throw a party just so
That
you
is
can
so
reveal
funny.
the
It's like
gender
if you're
of
not
your
making
baby.
money, I don't care.
Don't
I like
do
do
it.
it. Like, yeah.
That's or if you have to do it, make it something that's, I think
Low key.
Yes, like just a couple of friends, blah blah blah, and people are breaking other people's backs with these things because you're like we're now contributing to
You're
a
right.
gender
Okay,
reveal.
that one's a no.
Yes,
Yeah.
to a bridal party,
A baby shower.
a send off, a baby shower, baby mama, blah
Christening.
blah.
Okay, that
it's
one's
too
a no.
much.
Yeah, don't
Yes.
put me in your WhatsApp group for baby shower party. I mean
Gender reveal.
gender reveal party. Baby shower, I'll be fine.
Then we
Like,
have to
don't
again
put gender
contribute
reveal.
money. Then what was the other question?
About sort of skipping over the traditional.
Yes,
route.
yes. This is also one of Diamond's main tool because Diamond is very talented. So he'll release a song today and effortlessly the song will trend and it will go viral, hits after hits. So the only way he remains relevant is through his women. And which is so sad.
Yeah.
It is sad, but that it's his only tool to remain relevant, especially on the digital space. So he knows, and unfortunately, these women keep falling victim every time. And you know what? I say this, without fear of contradiction, that every woman Diamond Platnumz has been with is a tool to help him trend.
What?
And unfortunately, these women get so wrapped up in this. He gives them babies, and then it's like babies, cars, visits to the mom's house. The same story that was boiling ever since we started following Diamond Platnumz. Same story.
But
women. Not the music, not anything. It's women, and babies.
To be fair though, I get what you're saying, but let's not also assume that they aren't gaining something from it. There's also something in it for them. So some may know, I don't know, I can't be sure, but yeah, you know how the story is gonna go, but you also know what you're going to get out of it.
Like what?
So you're like, okay,
Sorry,
that's
ladies.
clout, it's publicity.
Yeah,
You're
and
Diamond's
I
girlfriend.
think we have to go on break soon. But you've raised an interesting point, and the only thing I'd like to challenge is, but if there's one common denominator, who's to say that they're not using him? That it's not the other way around
They're not.
as well?
They're not, because I promise you, the minute Tanasha leaves, or Diamond, Tanasha, like the minute they break up, if they ever break up, Tanasha will become irrelevant. I can bet you £1,000,000 on the table.
Do you really want to take that bet?
I do. Wallahi, I do.
Okay,
Let's
right.
take it.
Not if
We've
she's
got
smart. Okay.
we've got to take
Let's
a
take
break.
it.
Sorry, lady. But there's £1,000,000 on the table.
On the table.
If you take the bet.
Yes.
We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We're at Park-In by Radisson, and I've got Mkamburi and Mariam. And let me tell you, they're just hilarious and honest, which is exactly what we want for entertainment highlights. So my next story is about a lady that we've mentioned a couple of times now, Beyonce, because she's part of Lion King, the iconic movie, which I'm sure we all watched as kids, cried about. And of course there's a remake and she's part of it, and it starts off with a Swahili moment at the beginning, but I just wanted to find out your thoughts on some of these iconic films being remade and having black actors play key roles in certain moments. I mean, there was Will Smith in Aladdin, and now I think not Pocahontas. Who's that mermaid? What's her name? The mermaid.
Ariel.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it's her,
Yeah.
who has one of Beyonce's two proteges,
The twins.
the sisters.
Yeah.
Are they twins or sisters?
I don't know. They look
they're
the same, so I
sisters.
think they're twins.
But she's playing a role. But what I'm asking is like thoughts on black actors and actresses playing major roles. We can start with you, Kamburi.
No, I'm here for it. Totally here for it. I'm totally here for the remaking of the videos. It's like, just giving us a fresh view, especially for kids who are born like maybe let's say 2000, who have no idea what was happening way back when. And the fact that right now it's becoming a shared space, in the past it just used to be, I think, a white dominated field.
Yeah.
Now, even in the past, when we would read those storybooks, we would automatically assume this is a white
white
guy.
person,
yeah.
The genie is probably white.
Yeah.
Olympia,
Prince Charming was always white.
God is always
Is
white.
always white. Jesus is white. So I think I'm here for it. It's changing the dynamics, and it's just showing that even the black community or the African American community or the African community is well represented in terms of roles and in terms of talent. And now we're in a space where, you know, talent, regardless of your skin color, regardless of where you're from, your background, is being appreciated more. So I'm all for it.
I agree with her, like 100%. It's been a long time coming. Yeah, you get tired of seeing the same face representing every dynamic. So it's good to have black people being represented. I think like the next step now is, can you actually get people from those backgrounds? Like Lion King is set in the Serengeti, or is it the Mara and stuff? And I actually saw like really good branding from Magical Kenya on that. So yeah, it would be nice to have like locals, you know, doing those roles. But I'm really happy that we're seeing more black people in roles meant for black people, meant for people of color in general. As for Lion King, I hope the remake has done it justice, because sometimes remakes can go, what, you know? Yeah, but it's an iconic movie. Like all our childhoods, Lion King was it. And Beyonce, our queen, we love her, but she can't act.
Yeah, I was waiting for someone to say that.
So I don't know, I can't wait to hear. But it's voice acting, so maybe it's different.
I hope it is, because I mean, I want the best for Lion King and I want the best for Beyonce, but the few roles that she's played, it's just like...
They've all been flat.
Yes, they've all been flat. But let's see, it's voice acting, so it's a bit different. Let's see how it goes. Also, like, tell people that all the names of the animals and the Kiswahili meanings, you know, like Simba is a lion named Lion. It doesn't make sense, you know. There's those tiny things that if you're not a Swahili speaker, you would never notice.
And there is a little bit of Kiswahili actually at the start of Beyonce's song, which is Uishikwa, what is it? Uishikwa muda mrefu mfalme. So there's a little bit of Kiswahili, but even then I don't know if it, I mean, there's still
like
a long
Google
way,
Translate.
It's a Google Translate, which you'd think for Disney that they'd get, you know,
a translator.
Yeah, like a little stronger. But speaking of representation and more black faces or African faces in front of our screens, Kipchoge is having a documentary done by an Irish filmmaker called Kevin MacDonald, and it's something they're trying to follow him on his journey to try and break his record, which I think is going to be, he's trying to get it under 2 hours now, and it's at something, I think the event is coming out in October. But I was keen to hear from you, who would you love to see on your screens? Which sportsmen, sportswomen, actors, singers from the country, and maybe from Africa, whose stories would you like to have told and be told? And do you care that it's being sort of put together by an outsider? Does that matter to you at all, or?
Prophets are never appreciated in their own homes. Is that how the saying goes and stuff? I'm not surprised. It's even like Wangari Maathai, there's literally universities named after her outside, but here it took us forever to name a road after her. So I'm not surprised. So good for the Irish filmmaker, and I'm glad Kipchoge is getting the recognition he deserves. He's definitely one of the best runners to like ever run.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for him. And the weirdest thing, I literally had a dream about Eliud Kipchoge.
Wait,
last
what?
night. I know.
What is that dream? Do we want to know?
This is how you know, like, don't read too much before bed. No, it wasn't like a bad dream.
Okay.
It was like a mashup of Lion King and Eliud Kipchoge. So like the Lion King cast is running, and then Eliud Kipchoge is running behind them, and they're kind of doing it in a circle. And when I woke up, I felt so inspired. I was like, I'm going to pitch this to Nike. But all that aside, I'm happy for him.
Gosh.
I think he definitely does need like a film after him. For other Kenyan sportsmen and women, I would also think Lorna Kiplagat. No, how am I forgetting her name? She has a sporting line.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
And it's at Galleria or something.
Yes,
Sports Story.
yes. Oh my
Forgotten
gosh,
the name,
I feel so bad for forgetting her name,
Yeah.
but I think it's Lorna, but I can't remember her second name. Also, like the old school rally drivers, I feel like those would make really cool movies. When Kenya was at the top of the rally game, there was a couple guys who were doing like really amazing.
In fact, even right now, there's Sam Jethwa, who is he lost the use of his limbs, the feeling of his limbs from like waist down, and he's a rally driver, and I think it was Capital FM it was Capital FM who did a short film, and it was nominated in Toronto in Canada.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so there are, and I think maybe before I give my 2 cents, Mukamburi, what do you think about, like, who would you like to see? And
I'd honestly like to see. I think, but there's something that has been done. The guy who's blind but runs. What's his name? Kinuthia. Wanyuike.
Oh, Wanyuike.
Wanyuike. He has such a deep story.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was watching one of the documentaries done by one of the local media houses, and it just felt like this could actually be reenacted into like a mini docu-series, and it will make so much sense. And it will just give the it's called the Paralympics. Yes, people who run in that category and people who maybe participate and who we deem like they cannot do it just because maybe they have some challenges. It could shed some more light, and it could inspire a lot of people. So that is one person I would want his story to be expounded on more. And then in terms of the Irish producer working on it, I think if we wait, we'd wait forever. So if someone else does it, that's when we're like, oh, why should
But then
someone from the
Kipchoge is
outside,
cool.
come and you know, do these things for us? But then in actual sense, you're not doing it yourself.
Right.
So let the Irishman have his moment and let him do it. And at the end of the day, it's not him filming an Irish guy. You know, it's Kipchoge. It's a Kenyan.
Yeah.
So he did not just go and film some Irish people in his country and go like, you'll be Kipchoge now, and we're gonna film you. We're just gonna run here. It's like
We'll spray you with whatever Vera has on.
We'll spray you. We're gonna spray tan, and we're gonna do this. No, it's Eliud Kipchoge, and it's telling the Kenyan story from another.
Wait, I have to say my mistake. He's actually a Scottish director,
He's
not
Scottish.
Irish. My
Okay,
bad.
fine.
But I agree.
Can you tell the accents apart?
No, I can't. Not really.
Neither
I
can
don't
I.
think I can. But I agree. I think as long as the story is being told, it's being funded also by, I think, a British billionaire or something like that. But I think, in as much as we wish the story was coming from here and we wish that we had thought about it ourselves, I think it's still great that the story is being told, and the story is about his journey and him breaking a record. And that by doing that, we now have more representation of Black men or women, whoever else is being filmed thereafter, who come from our country and are doing incredible things. And as long as that's what's the end story that our children will be able to watch, and hopefully this is the kind of thing that will be available on Netflix, and
hopefully,
you know, so it's like I'm all for it. But speaking of being abroad and who's from where and whatnot, so Calligraph just recently confessed to spending 100,000 shillings on his video, which was shot in Dallas, Texas, and claimed that he would much rather have done it there. It was just cheaper. It was cheaper for him to do it there rather than do it here. And so he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it where it's cheaper."
Yeah.
Are we still the same school of thought? Like, you know what, just do whatever. It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be
based here or made here.
You see, the thing with trying to base things here is sometimes like the situations around doing things make it so hard. So I get him. If I can make a great video for 100,000 shillings and I'm on tour in the US anyway, I have time, why would I come here to spend $500,000, $1 million, Bob? It does not make financial sense. And we've seen it all the time, even with artists going to South Africa, going to wherever, just because it's cheaper to get good quality there. I cannot blame them. It's just, it doesn't make financial sense to spend more money here just so you can be like, build Kenya. I'm patriotic, yes, but my pocket may not be.
Right.
So yeah, unless the bodies that are relevant make it easier to film here, because gosh, the film licenses, like you guys are in the industry, you know, film licenses, the security you have to get, the letters you have to send, the permits you have to get from city council, from AA, it's a lot, man.
Right.
So do what you have to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mukamburi?
Yeah. In fact, when I read that, I was like, 100,000? Like what? Like, is it $100,000? Is it just? And then it was like, no, 100,000 Kenyan shillings. That's a deal.
It's a deal.
Who's faulting him for doing that? I'm not faulting him, because if I know that I can get the same quality or even better quality outside of Kenya at a cheaper cost, I'll be like, hello, book me the next flight, I'm coming. Because everyone, you know, the economy right now, honestly, is setting everyone up. So everyone is looking for a bargain, and at the same time, we want to invest. It's like the principles of business. You want to invest, but then your investments should also be able to reap back and be profitable. Yeah. So it's not just about you saying, I want to, you know, promote Kenya, and at the same time, you look at the overall costs and it's totaling to 900,000.
Right.
And then at the same time, probably the quality will not be as bomb as the quality back there. Yeah. Yes. And maybe even the type of production will not be the same as something that has been produced here. So
Right. And what do you think about and what do you think about like watching a video and being so obviously not a representation of home? Does it ever take you aback, or you just are like, I don't care if it's a good song, if it's a good video? Do you ever have moments where you're like, where is that? That's not here.
Do you know, I don't mind personally.
Okay.
I really don't mind. I don't know if I got used to it, or I generally don't mind, unless the song is really about something that's very authentically Kenyan.
Right.
Like if the song Nairobi by Mayonde, if she shot it in Cape Town, I'd be like, sis, what you doing? Yeah, but other than that, I don't mind, and I get it. And even like Tanzanian artists, because we love their videos, and their videos get views, mad views, they always hop on a plane to South Africa and shoot that video because it's cheaper, better quality, everything. Then they come and we're like, love it.
Okay.
So yeah, it works.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody. We're at Park Inn by Radisson, and I've got Mariam and Mkamburi, and we've been talking about entertainment highlights. And one of the stories that did the rounds a couple weeks ago is the story of the designer Shienze, who came out with her battle with cancer, and then was sort of sourcing for funds, and she got a lot of coverage for it. But then some other stories came out not too long ago stating that perhaps there could be some faking there, and that it may or may not be real cancer. And I just wanted to pose the question to you ladies, like, where do you draw the line? Do you sort of help and then ask questions later? Do you start asking for, can I please see your doctor's report before I even send? Or like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah,
Mariam?
That's the fact that you said, like, first, do you have to verify before you help? It's so funny because the same type of story about Shienze possibly like faking being sick and cancer and everything. There was an expose just like that happening a few weeks ago online. Someone had been faking that, you know, a loved one was sick, and turns out it wasn't true. And so people were torn between, if you gave out a helping hand, like with a clean heart, don't feel bad even if someone played you. Don't feel bad, like you were trying to do your part. If they were lying, that's on them, karma will deal with them. And there's the other half of people who are like, nah, I want my money back. I was doing this for your loved one and turns out they're fine, so I can't play that. And to be honest, I'm like stuck down in the middle. But what I will say is, if someone reaches out for help, don't be the person who's asking why, nini, verify. Because if a lot of the times people are being genuine, and it's kind of, it feels very impulsive.
Ego.
Yes, it's a bruise to their ego. It's an imposition. Like, why, even if someone's just asking you for like cash, don't be that person who's like, why do you need it? If you have it and you want to give. If you don't want to, just be like, I don't have, or lie about it. As for faking sickness though, that to me is a low. It's a proper low.
That's assuming she has.
Yes, it's assuming she has.
Yeah, it's still not clear.
It's absolutely not clear. But as far as clout chasing or chasing money, if you do that, that's a new low we've hit as human beings. Because I feel like karma will deal with you. But in case it is true, always give out with like an open heart. Don't be too questioning. I'm more leaning towards just give out with an open heart. If people are playing you, that's on them. Just give what you can. That's why you give comfortably, yeah? Don't be like, this is my whole salo, take it. And then you're like, oh, I'm broke for the next 3 months and they played me, yeah? Just give what you can comfortably. And if you've helped someone out, that's great. If they were playing you, that's on them.
So take the loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kamburi?
I honestly think if I'm to contribute towards a cause, I'm totally opposite of Mariam. I'll have to ask why am I giving to this? Please show me the value addition into this. And you see, I have a problem with people who would come out and probably start a rally and say we are contributing towards drought, we're contributing towards somebody's illness, we're contributing to this, because it's this ingenuine people who ultimately spoil for that genuine person who's crying. It's a genuine cry, like, really, I need your support. Then, you know what, Kenyans, in as much as people want to take it out on Kenyans and say Kenyans are mean, we're not. We're very, very giving. Very giving. You just have to show me, why should I contribute honestly, and people will give. Like
what's the why? How does the why look like? Is it like me saying I'm going through XYZ, I need money, or what's the why? Or is it like a medical report?
And also the term value addition feels like a business proposition.
No, it doesn't, because you're telling me that probably I suffered from cancer.
Okay.
And it's still in its early stages. And I can clearly see that this person is not trying to make, trying to milk. You know, the people you look at and you're like, this person is honestly trying to milk this situation. And this is not. It has stopped, the genuine cry for help went out the window a long time ago. And now it's just like a quick fix to making money. Well, I just can't. Tell? You know what? I can't mention. So I haven't a perfect example, but I will not. I will not mention the name here. Yeah. So, but then it's like a story that's continual. Like, guys, please do. And you're like, really?
Okay.
It's like you meet with them in this matatus in town. The same face since 2000. It's 2019. Someone still has the same placard, selling the same story, and you're like, so all these years of contributions have never.
Yeah.
They have never really.
So I totally get it, and I've also felt myself go after like the fourth or fifth ask, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? But I'm curious. The first time someone comes and is like, hey, I've had to drop out of school because I wasn't able to pay, because my parents weren't able to pay school fees.
Yeah,
I'll still
ask why weren't they able to pay the school fees?
Oh, so you want to just get a little bit more.
What exactly is the story? Like, or maybe my parents died, or they're not well off, or something. I don't know. I'm sorry, but I think we need a justification as to why we are coughing out money, because this is why people are taking advantage.
But it's so not dehumanizing. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for.
I think to some extent it is, because I think to be in a place of need, or already it's a blow to the ego. If I'm coming to you and saying, Mukamburi, I have a 2.5 million shilling bill for my child, and I have done everything in my power to pay that bill, but I can no longer meet the costs. Could you please chip in? And you ask, but if you ask me any question, if I felt like it was digging, I can't even imagine the kind of blow it would be to the ego. So I mean, and again, I think everyone, but again, if I did it like the first time, okay, second time, maybe if I was coming and you're like, it's now 3 years, what's the story?
Even the first time will need justification. I'm like, I need
a tough one. I'm imagining you've never fallen prey to.
No. I have never, and I'm not even saying that people who ask for help, because I've helped before. Yeah. But I always need to see and to feel that this is a genuine cry for help, because eventually there's someone people were contributing to just the other day, and then some expose, like they were doing a back and forth with the boyfriend, and then the boyfriend was like, you know what, I gave her this idea, and this particular person actually pocketed 2 milli on top of that contribution guys gave. So, when things like this start coming out, we're like, okay.
Make it easier on yourself. Like, it takes
Don't
give. No. Give, but give with an open heart. Like, just let it go. The thing about money is it comes and goes. So if you feel like someone
is like, that's cute.
I'm like, that is very cute, but no.
It's the truth.
And I think to each their own. And I think ultimately it's whatever helps you sleep at night. Exactly. If you're able to be like, I am not going to be swindled. I'm going to ask questions until I'm satisfied. Then I give. I don't need to ask questions. I'll just give and with an open heart.
Yeah, of course you're not just being dumb about it, but also not too imposing, and because a lot of people do ask when they're in genuine need. A lot of people do ask just because.
And in the world we live in as well, you're right, Mukamburi, we have a lot more people getting smarter about how they're looking to make a quick money.
Sad. And if this particular story is true, because nobody really knows She could genuinely be suffering from cancer, or maybe it was just a plot, who knows. But if it's the other way around, like it's a plot to just milk people of their finances, it is very, very sad.
Yeah.
Because cancer is one of those things that you do not
Joke about.
You don't wish it
don't
on your
play,
worst enemy,
you
man.
don't wish cancer on anyone or on anything. It's
Yeah.
just cancer right now is an epidemic,
Yeah.
honestly. And for somebody to think that they can just sit there and decide, okay, let me just tell people that
Yeah.
I have cancer and have people contribute and maybe sell my merchandise and have one of my caregivers, you know, and it's rumored that one of the caregivers came out and they said that this is a hoax.
Yeah.
That's what it's rumored.
Yeah,
So
interesting.
nobody's really
Yeah, it's
sure.
interesting. It's yeah, and it takes me back to another story a while back about a gentleman who was acting as a manager. What was he? And I don't know if I should say his name or not, but I'm sure you all heard the story when it was revealed. Like, actually, he's not. He hasn't worked with this many brands, with this many clients, and it was, and it gets you thinking, like, how much actually slips through our fingers, and who should we hold
lot. It's a
accountable
lot.
to sort of to put to test? Are these stories true? Are these
Yeah.
causes true? Are these individuals or organizations
Yes.
true? Because it
So for like
starts
business,
to wonder, like,
for anything businessy, or like someone pretending to be a PR this, a manager here, that would like do all the due diligence you
That you
can,
need
all
to
the digging that
do.
you can.
Yeah.
And the thing I've just remembered, like we assume everyone operates the same way we do. The way I'm saying here, like by the time someone is coming to you for help, they're already in a bad place. Some people don't have that in their mind. Some people will just fake. They'll fake things, they'll fake diseases, they'll
Right.
fake causes, and they don't flinch, they don't feel a thing.
which
So,
I think it's
yeah.
a little psychotic.
It
I mean,
is.
it's a weird state of being to be so cold.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about a story that wasn't even in my list originally, but I thought it is important, and I'm sure you all heard about what happened at the Elephant, Eric Wainaina's gig, which he holds every Friday, and it's called Live at the Elephant, and they just have like all different artists coming to perform. It's amazing from what I've heard. I haven't been, but last Friday, people claiming to be from NEMA came in and sort of seized all the equipment right at the end of the show, and they were being very aggressive, ended up even punching Sheba, Eric's wife.
The wife.
Yeah. And then some people got arrested, and then when a number of people, and I guess I'm just giving you backstory in case you didn't hear, but when a number of people went to the police station to show support, but also report and be like, listen,
Yeah.
what happened wasn't right.
We were assaulted.
There was, tear gas was released, and it just seemed to be like a bad, just a senseless story. What are your thoughts on
So
that? Because
thuggish.
it's so sorry.
It's so thuggish.
Oh, okay.
Because I've never understood why. First of all, we are way too desensitized to violence in this country. Like, even assuming like I don't know. I'm sure the Elephant did have their permits, because apparently they showed
did.
permits for
Yeah,
everything.
they did.
But even assuming they did not have noise permits, they did not have anything. That's not how you shut down a party. Yeah, you come in, because they've done it at other places, and I've seen NEMA come into other places and shut things down in a very calm, very quiet manner. And whether that was Kanjo or NEMA, I'm not sure. It was such a bad way to do it, and for people just coming together and having a good time, and then you do it in such a thuggish way. Like, people can't tell if you're the police, the city council, or just robbers. It's such a huge problem in this country. Like, we're desensitized to violence, and then when you go to the cops, which should be like your refuge, which is like, I'm running to you for help, you tear gas me.
Yeah.
How do we operate here? It doesn't make sense. And the weirdest thing is, ideally, you should see a police officer and feel safe. A lot of people see police officers and feel, maybe I should walk in a different direction.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
And by the way, just to be clear, NEMA came out saying that it wasn't them, and that the car that came in claiming to be as part of like NEMA folks and everything,
Yeah.
that even that car registration, it's not part of theirs. So they've said it's not them, but
Okay.
it's still a little unclear. Then is it City Council? Who is it? But
I believe,
Kamburi, I'm
when
curious
NEMA
to hear.
says it's not them, I believe them.
Okay.
Because, and NEMA, I don't know what, NEMA, please do something, because a lot of people are riding on that NEMA wave. A lot of thugs are riding, or they're just going to print fake documents, have fake lineages, and just walk around saying, I'm from NEMA and we've been ordered to shut this thing down. So it has happened. I think I have like 2 incidences. Some friends of mine and another lady was also harassed, and they claimed they were NEMA operatives, and then later people came to find out that, oh my God, it's not NEMA. These are just thugs who pretend to be NEMA. So in this story, what I'm guessing, this is just a conspiracy theory, it's probably somebody who had it in for Eric and Shiba, and they were just salty about the event. So what do? They have probably been eyeing them for a long time, and the only way to have the place shut down is, you know,
Pretending to be
yes, just
NEMA
get a
or
group
authorities,
of people, tell them you're NEMA, go shut the place down, confiscate the equipment, beat people up, threaten them, and then of course these people are in cahoots with the cops. That is not even rocket science. So whichever police station they'll be taken to is just like boss ndakuona kando na kitu kidogo. Seize these things and, you know, wahangaishe. Just make their life a living hell.
See, that's like the worst part of the story for me, because let's assume, like she's right, it's just thugs, just random thugs with fake documents storming the party. Okay, fine, but then we've been assaulted, we go to the police station, they refuse to take our statements, and then they tear gas us. That's where like the real problem is.
Yeah, if nothing else, actually, if we are to, because we don't really know the backstory behind it, but
that's where the real problem is. How do you get tear gas? You come for services and then
wahangaishe. That is it. Like, just, you know, just tear gas
but
them,
then
create
who
the
holds
chaos.
them accountable?
Nobody.
IPOA should, ideally, but I don't know how many convictions they've had, what their success rate is. It's so hard to have like an oversight body for the police because they're the enforcers of the law, you know.
And like you said, it's the one place we should go and feel safe, but then you're like, oh, don't go there unless you
have to. Yeah, you ever dread like I think anyone dreads needing to go to the police station.
Yeah.
So no one is like, yay.
This is great.
Yeah.
It's true.
And I think, I was going to say it's across the world. It's probably not. There are some countries and systems that have completely organized safe structures. But I think even in the States, I would say, depending on who the cop is, I would be a little terrified. Like, can I come to you?
Depending on what your skin color is.
Looks like, exactly. You're like, oh, am I safe or not? All right, ladies, I think that's the end of our show. Thank you. Can we, let's shout out our IG handles. How can people get to know about you and follow you?
Yeah,
because obviously you're
IG
both opinionated, like, and happy to tell you
share.
to be honest about what you're really what your thoughts are. So share.
So my Instagram is Mariam_Bishar and my Twitter is just Mariam Bishar, no underscore.
All right.
Kamburi Chigogo across board on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat.
Yeah,
Kamburi Chigogo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
No, I'm sure I'll see you back here soon. Remember, don't be duped by fake people trying to sell you their stories, if they are fake or not. And keep it locked here, I guess. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I'm sure you'll be back soon with more of your honest opinions. For now, I'm going to love you and leave you. And I hope you have a fabulous weekend. And if you get a chance to watch Lion King, let's just pray Beyonce killed it. We'll be back on Monday at 8 a.m. sharp, everybody.